Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad. Here's an update on the icy mix heading your way for your Sunday morning. Everything kind of still trending in the same direction. The foothills, northwest Piedmont, the area that we're most concerned about this evening. Let me show you what's going on right now. A couple things I'm watching. I'm watching, first of all, our air temperatures over the Carolinas, which you can see are generally in the 30s right now. I'm also watching the moisture increasing from the southwest. We've got one system up here and one system down here. This is heading our direction. This is kind of traveling to the north. Because they're not really teaming up, we're not overly concerned that we're going to see a lot of snow or sleet. This is really about ice or rain. Now, there could be some snow and sleet at the beginning. I definitely want to emphasize that. If you're up at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, there could be a brief mix of snow and sleet, especially towards the foothills and mountains where it's going to stay snow and sleet for a lot longer. But in Charlotte, don't count on seeing a lot of snow. It's probably going to be sleet or freezing rain. What's interesting is keeping an eye on the dew point temperatures. And you're probably wondering, why did the dew point temperatures matter? Well, when the air is really dry, when the precipitation falls into that dry air, it evaporates. That evaporative cooling actually causes the temperature to fall. Just like when you're sweating in the summer or you get out of the pool or the shower or the bathtub and you feel cold because your skin is wet, this happens in the atmosphere as well. So as this moisture moves in from the south and west into this dry air, it will actually cause the temperature to fall. So it's a big wait and watch kind of game tonight to kind of keep an eye on where we're going to see those temperatures and dew points. But why we're not concerned about a major ice storm is for this reason. You see where the high pressure is? It's actually already off the east coast here. Because it's in this direction, the flow of air is actually coming now from the east-southeast. Typically, when we get big ice storms around here, the high pressure is over the northeast, and it's constantly supplying cold, dry air down into the Carolinas while the low is pushing that in. What's happening is the low is actually much further north and the high is kind of moving away. So as this high kind of moves away, there's only residual cold air. Once that cold air is used up, there's no more cold air. There's no reinforcements for it. So it's a very short window. That's why I'm highly confident we're going to see a changeover to rain at some point tomorrow. The only question is if it's light rain initially, that could cause the drizzle, freezing drizzle, to last longer and actually stay below freezing. But if it actually rains heavy, it could mean a quick changeover because that warm air aloft will actually move down to the surface. So remember, we're under a winter weather advisory for the entire area, and I'll actually put that on real quickly here to show you, so you can see the winter weather advisories, which are currently in effect for most of the Western Carolinas. That includes all of our foothill communities, the Charlotte area, and areas to the west. We're all under that advisory through 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's going to be our concern. So here's a look at the road impacts in the morning. I'm not changing this a whole lot. I really think this area along Interstate 40 North is the area of most concern. The one area we'll have to watch, if there's going to be a change, it would be in here where we could see the ice hang on a little bit longer. That's the one little area where if you're going to see us bust a forecast where it might be more ice than we're thinking now, it's going to be in that area from, let's say, the upstate of South Carolina, just north of Spartanburg, Shelby to Lincolnton, and south of Interstate 40. This is where there's probably the biggest question marks right now. For the Charlotte area, I'm fairly confident it's going to be a very low-end event because once you get south of Interstate 40, there just isn't a lot of ice there. And this was the future cast I showed earlier. This has not fluctuated too much. The main ice core is still right in here. And again, depending on the amount of mixing, these numbers could go up or down. But at no point does this look like it's going to go crazy high. If anything, it's just a matter of just how quickly it changes over in a lot of these locations. So let me show you how this is going to unfold. We'll show you the short range models here, and we'll go through the overnight hours. I'm going to stop this at about, let's see, we'll stop this. This is 7 a.m. So let's back this up. 6, 5, 4 a.m. You can see, and this is likely going to be an icy, wintry mix here. I don't think the model's doing a really good job of that. We'll go to 7 a.m. And again, this is the latest run, just came in. Notice how the coldest air is trapped right here. This will probably be a quick changeover depending on how fast it happens. We'll go to 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and you can see where the cold air hangs on the longest is basically from Greer up through northern Cleveland County just in this area. So this is why this area in particular is the biggest concern for potential significant icing before it changes over. As we get closer to the lunchtime hour, this is noon, this is 11, excuse me, this is noon, you can see everything's changed over to rain, and by 1 o'clock there's really no issue. So you could see it's a pretty quick transition no matter how many ways you look at this. This has actually been trending a little warmer, and mainly because I think this model is actually showing real heavy precipitation, which would drag warm air from that warm nose aloft down to the surface. That's why I think we'll see that quick changeover. So let me refresh this real quickly, and I'll show you the latest accumulations here. And this is from our short range model, and I'll go out as far as we can here. This goes all the way out through noon. This is 1 o'clock tomorrow, so we'll go through 1 o'clock tomorrow. The upper left is sleet. You can see the sleet. You see the ice, heaviest ice from around Greenville, Spartanburg, up through northern Cleveland County, west of Lincolnton, Hickory, Statesville, Morganton, Lenoir. Notice the snowfall, all confined to the highest elevations, and then mostly rain east of Charlotte. So that's a really good indication. Every time I see this update, I'm growing a little bit more confident in that. But either way, tomorrow morning between 4 a.m. and about 10 a.m., because of that advisory, I think everybody in this area needs to really be careful. Church services tomorrow could be a major issue. And again, here's that winter weather advisory just to show you. The winter weather advisory is through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. That extends for most of the Carolinas, and I'll go in closer. Salisbury, up to Greensboro, Mount Airy, back into the mountains. So you can see where that advisory extends up to the north. And overnight tonight, we'll be watching this. So again, not an all-day ice event, but as this moisture heads our way, the potential is there. We're going to see a very slick morning commute for church services. Church services would be my biggest issue. So again, to recap, here's your tough roads in the morning. We're talking the foothills across the northwest Piedmont, maybe all the way down to Charlotte. And then here's the ice look. And again, this is fluctuated up and down a little bit. At no point, even where you see like Hickory and Greer around 1/4 of an inch, even Statesville, that 1/4 inch is kind of that very fine threshold where we worry about trees and power lines. But because this is going to change over quickly and it's going to melt, we're not going to have that weight sitting on the power lines and tree limbs long enough to cause major issues. I mean, I can't rule it out, but I really think in my heart of hearts, this is primarily going to be a road issue for about that 6-hour window tomorrow morning. So it's all about this, the icy road impacts through Sunday morning. Of course, we have complete team coverage on NBC Charlotte. We'll have everybody there in the morning. We'll have you covered. Make sure you stay tuned to NBC Charlotte for your church closures and delays. Check ahead tomorrow. And if there's any chance you're up between that 5 a.m. to like 11 a.m. time frame, make sure if you're out, if you have to go out, approach all bridges and overpasses as if they're icy, which means you need to drive straight, keep the wheel straight, don't jerk it, don't use the brake and gas, just coast through it. That's pretty much what you need to do as we go through tomorrow morning. Of course, I'll keep things up to date tonight and through tomorrow morning. I'll be on tomorrow, big Super Bowl Sunday. We'll have all hands on deck at the station, and I'll have you covered no matter what happens. Please be safe tomorrow morning. This is not going to be a huge event, but if you're traveling in that time frame, it definitely could be problematic. Have a great Saturday night, everybody, and I'll post updates as we go through your Sunday.